Zagreb derby was on schedule in round 18. In Ljubljana we saw two Euro Cup second round teams playing. League leaders from Belgrade traveled to Hungary. We took a peek at Radnički and at the end, top 5 of the week. Welcome to the new edition of ABBA magazine. Let's start with the news. Charles Jenkins signed a new contract with Crvena Zvezda, which will keep him in Belgrade for another season. American is having a great rookie season in the league with 10.7 points per game percentage. Bosnia and Herzegovina has a new national coach. Montenegrin Duško Ivanović played for Jugoplastika at the peak of his career. European club champion with club from Split has managerial experience mainly from Spain, where he coached Laboral Kucha and Barcelona. Reigning champions Partizan lost their captain for the season. Dragan Miloslavljević suffered a serious knee injury on Thursday. In a EuroLeague game in Tel Aviv, he tore his knee ligaments and will undergo surgery in a month. He'll be sidelined for 6 to 8 months. 24-year-old is Partizan's third player after Bertrands and Westermann with similar injury in a year. We'll start this week's game reviews in Ljubljana. Stožice welcomed Radnički. Serbs had 7 wins coming to Slovenia to Olympia's 6. Radnički missed DJ Sealy. Home crowd warmly greeted Dino Muric back after injury. Dragons took the lead after Joksimovic scored. Stefan Balmazovic started well for guests with his three-pointer. Davidas Galius ended strong Olympia's run of 11 points, which gave them early lead 15-6. Eric Stevenson concluded first period +10 for home team. In the second quarter, Stevenson continued where he left off. Then Luka Rupnik added his contribution and home lead was stretched to +15 for the first time. Marko Brkic was the only one showing any form in Radnički's jersey. He had 13 points on the night. After Nebojša Joksimovic scored for 3, Dragons were up by 18. Margin stayed the same till half-time when Sasu Salin scored his only basket of the game. It wasn't to be for Radnički on Saturday. League's top scorer Sava Lesic had an off day. He managed only 6 points on the night, scoring just once from open play. Alen Omic gave his fans something to talk about. 14 points and 10 rebounds on his tally. Galius then scored 2 three-pointers and Dragons were in comfort zone, leading by 25. Galius had 20 points at the end. His fast break put home team even further in front. After knee injury, Dino Muric is back. He scored 5 points and had 6 rebounds. Marko Marinovic was successful behind three-point line for guests, but game was decided a long time ago. Cedric Jackson scored his only basket right at the end for final score 85-56 for Olympia. 7th victory of the season for Slovenians. They are now leveled with Radnički in the standings. Last season was amazing for Radnički. Really a year to remember. We played in Final Four tournament but lacked a little bit of luck in Laktaši. We were so close to qualifying for EuroLeague. Playing in Eurocup is tough. There is a lot of traveling with games on Saturdays and Wednesdays. It's a lot easier playing on Saturdays only. This is the main reason for this season's bad start in ABBA League. Serbian international Nikola Kalinic agrees with his captain that results are below par. We felt behind at the beginning. We managed to get a grip in the last few weeks. Series of good results means a lot. We are getting better and hope to grow stronger in the last 10 rounds of ABA League. Our goal this season was reaching 6th or 7th spot and again qualifying for Euro Cup.
Umorom, pošto igramo 2 takmičenja, pa mnogo putovanja ima dalekih, tako da je i to jedan od faktora. Međutim, sada se dižemo, očekujemo, kao što si rekao, posljednjih 10 kola da odigramo još bolje i uvek je taj neki cilj je bio na početku neko 6-7 mjesto, pa je pokušaj plasmana u Eurocup.
Playing in ABA League and Euro Cup took its toll. There were a lot of changes in the team prior to the start of the season. Club is also suffering financially. It's hard to manage a team with a lot of players coming in and out every season. Nobody managed to set up a quality team in just a year so far. Financial situation is tough. We try to find players that we can afford and make the best out of it. That's almost impossible.
Koje možemo donekle da platimo a da napravimo što bolje rezultat. To je maltene nemoguće, ali opet mi se trudimo ispred štaba i uprava da napravimo što bolje rezultat iako nemamo para.
Muftau Jaru leaving Kragujevac had negative influence on the club. At the end, case went to FIBA. His departure ruined our season. He's a very good player. We try to get the best out of him and make an example out of him, successfully making a player every year that can sign a big contract abroad later on. Radnički can be proud of their scouting team. Terrico White, Alexander Chapin, David Simon, Michael Lee, Michael Scott, and Muftau Jaru. Every year a season's MVP comes from our ranks. I have a lot of connections. My staff and our scouting team are doing a great job. We can pick players out. In fact, we can't afford to be wrong. We are not a big club like Crvena Zvezda, Partizan, Cibona or Olimpija. We try to check everything about a player before signing him. His background, his character, his working habits. It's a mixture of everything. We weren't wrong so far. In comparison to Zvezda and Partizan, Radnički feels a little neglected when it comes to state funding. We're from central Serbia, not Belgrade. Because of different reasons, Radnički's budget is a little lower than last season's. But for a club of our size and our ambitions, still high enough. We'll do our best to grow in the future, and that would also mean expectations will be justifiably higher.
Trudit ćemo se u narednom periodu obezbedimo više sredstava i naravno bolji budžet, što će onda garantovati veći izbor igrača, dužu klupu, a onda samim tim javnost može da zahteva i bolje rezultate.
Well, after last year's results, bar is set quite high for team from Kragujevac this season already. Crvena Zvezda came to Hungary as a strong favorite. Szolnok is known to play great at home, and Red and White from Belgrade had to be careful. DeMarcus Nelson opened the scoring before best home player Willie Warren put Szolnok on the scoring sheet. Hungarians played well in the first quarter. Justin Holiday gave them a lead by 6. Charles Jenkins showed his gratefulness and motivation after prolonging contract with Crvena Zvezda by scoring twice for 3. It was all square after 10 minutes. Willie Warren kept Szolnok in front, but then Jenkins was unstoppable once again. His long-range shot put Zvezda in the lead for the first time. Akos Keller had 9 points at the end. This one was photographer's choice for sure. Marton Bader was the last to score in the first half. Szolnok was in the lead by 2. Hungarians started really strong in the third. David Vojvoda, 18 points in total, took the game in his hands. 3 3-pointers in a row, and Szolnok was comfortably in front by 13. DeMarcus Nelson scored twice to cut the home lead to 10 before final 10 minutes. Then Crvena Zvezda showed why they have 9 wins more on their account than Hungarians. 8 points in a row, and Zvezda was suddenly in touch, trailing only by 2. Strahinja Milošević gave home fans a new hope. But then red and white from Serbian capital started dominating. Ivan Radenović scored at the right time to put Zvezda in front for the first time in second half. 24 seconds to go, Lorand scored just once from free throw line. Same happened on the other end with Katic, and Szolnok had the opportunity to level the score, but Warren lost the ball and Jenkins secured the victory from the line. 77-72 for Crvena Zvezda. They remain on top. Szolnok is penultimate. Dom Sportova hosted Zagreb's 2 biggest clubs. Cedevita is 3rd, Cibona is 4th. Home team Cedevita wanted to prolong their winning streak to 6 games. They had Ante Delac back. Ex-European champions Cibona had to do without Davor Kus. Guests were first to score via Darko Planinic. Cedevita responded with Luka Babic's 3-pointer. But when Ivan Širiščević scored his second attempt behind 3-point line, it was 14-5 for Cibona. Goran Suton managed to cut Cibona's lead, but then guests went on another run. This time with partial score 8-0 to win first quarter by 8. It took Cedevita 6 minutes to score from open play. Miro Bilan scored, Ivan Ramljak assisted. After Alan Ray successfully threw his long-range shot, Cedevita was right back in the game. That seemed to reignite Cibona. It was Jarell Blasingame who scored a 3-pointer. He had 24 points on the night with 10 assists. 33-year-old scored again before half-time to give his team a comfortable lead. Blasingame remained focused in the third quarter as well. He scored twice for 3 and Cibona's lead got bigger. It was a game of 3-pointers. We saw 18 successful attempts in total. Nolan Smith was next to be precise. Then Ivan Ramljak scored and was also calm at free throw line. After 30 minutes, Cibona was in front by 7. We expected Cedevita to be taking control at the start of the last quarter, but it was Cibona who dominated. In 2.5 minutes, partial score was 11-0 for Wolves. Dario Šarić had to leave the game with 5th personal foul more than 6 minutes to the end. Cedevita had their last attempt, managed to come closer but not close enough. Marko Arapovic, whose father Franjo is a basketball legend in Zagreb, took Cibona in front by 18 once again. Cibona was too strong for Cedevita on the day. Final score 85-67. Krka came to Bosnia and Herzegovina after comfortably beating Mega Vizura in previous round. Home team had a new man in charge. Vlado Jovanovic is 3rd coach on Igokea's bench this season. Branko Jorovic was first to score in Laktaši. Chris Buko responded for Krka. Uroš Nikolic was on fire. He scored 8 points in the first 10 minutes for home lead 18-13 after first period. Slovenians continued to play sloppy. Jorovic scored 5 unanswered points and home lead was in double digits for the first time. Jaka Klobuchar gave Slovenians a little hope, scoring 3 times. But Igokea kept playing good basketball and Krka couldn't stop them. Uroš Nikolić was regular at free throw line in the first half. Home team dominated. It was 41-22 in 19th minute. Edo Murić kept his nerves and in the last second he scored a three-pointer to put Krka a little closer. Slovenians kept scoring. After 6 unanswered points, game was up for grabs for both teams. This was a wake-up call for Igokea. Both teams started to play good in offense. We saw 12 three-pointers in third quarter only. Jasmin Hukic tallied all his 13 points in the third and Krka was trailing by 9 points only. Uroš Mirković ended third period in a suitable fashion. Igokea's 7th three-pointer in 10 minutes for 69-58. Krka gave its best at the start of the last quarter. First Murić contributed 5 points, then Matej Rojc scored. His 13 points on the night is career high for him so far. Teddy Gibson slowed down Krka a little bit. 5 minutes from time, Chris Booker made things interesting. But then Igokea found enough strength to go on an 8-0 run. When Nemanja Gordic scored, Igokea never looked back again. Gordic had 21 points at the end. Jaka Klubučar said the final score 83-74 for Igokea. After a loss in Zagreb in previous round, Budućnost had to win over Široki to stay in the mix for Final Four tournament. Montenegrins were without their captain Marko Popović. American William Coleman gave home team a lead before Ivan Buva opened Široki's account in Podgorica. It was tight at the beginning. Jonathan Jones led at 7. Then Budućnost went on a little run. 3 points from Montenegro international Suat Šehović. Then Nikola Ivanović contributed his share and Budućnost was in front by 12. Jamar Young was on fire in first 10 minutes. 4 three-pointers from 4 attempts. Josip Mikulic was the one to set the score after 10, 27-23. Second period was all about Budućnost. When Jurel Akindele scored, Montenegrins were in comfortable lead 36-23. Široki needed almost 4 minutes to score again. Drago Pašalić was precise. It wasn't Široki's Jamar Young who continued his scoring session. Suat Šehović was game highest scorer. His third three-pointer in second period meant Budućnost lead was plus 20. Ivan Buva's successful free throws closed first half. Drago Pašalić continued where Buva left off, but Budućnost was too strong. Aleksa Popović scored 7 points in a row for visitors. Then it was Akindele who took the central stage. He had 14 points and 9 rebounds on the night. Vladimir Mihailovic scored last in the third. It was he who scored first in fourth as well, plus 23 for Budućnost. Ivan Buva remained the most consistent player for Široki, 19 points and 11 rebounds at the end. Budućnost kept their rhythm right till the end. It was all over when Mihailovic set the score 81-61. At the end it was 85-68. Win number 12 for Montenegrins. Široki stays bottom with 5. Reigning champions hosted Skopje's MZT in front of 6,000 fans in Pioneer Hall. This was Partizan's first game without their captain Dragan Milosavljevic, whose season has due to injury already ended. MZT started behind three-point line with Damian Stojanovski. Home team quickly responded via Terence Kinsey. Then Dejan Musli hit 2 baskets to give Partizan the lead 10-8. It was 14-13 after 10 minutes. Gravediggers started well in the second period, and after new captain Geoffrey Levergne scored, they were up by 7. Macedonians responded with 2 3-pointers. Stefan Sinovec was in the foreground. Bogdan Bogdanovic was on fire in the second period, scoring 7 points to put Partizan back in front by 8. Halftime score 34-31. But it wasn't all good for the champions. Kinsey had 4 personal fouls, and after what seemed to be a dispute with coach Vujošević, Bogdanovic never returned from locker room after the break. In the third, Todor Gečovski stepped up. His second 3-pointer of the night leveled the score at 34. Macedonians continued to play well, and after 7 unanswered points, they were up by 4. Gečovski had 19 points and 13 rebounds at the end. 16 years his junior Mihailo Andrić then scored 8 points in a row to secure home lead again. Skopje's Kate Davis scored the last basket of the third. In the fourth, MZT Skopje showed no fear in front of thousands of Partizan fans. Davis scored for 3, Skopje's 9th behind 3-point line to give Macedonians the lead. 4 minutes from time, Milenko Tepic got injured. Partizan's nightmare continued 2.5 minutes from buzzer when Uroš Lučić scored 5 points in a row. .36 seconds to go. Lučić was an assistant. Sinovec the scorer for 73-66 for Skopje. Game over. This was Partizan's second home defeat of the season. Skopje's coach Zoran Martic claimed his second big Belgrade Cup. Olimpija was too strong for Radnički. Crvena Zvezda won in Solnok. Mega Vizura had no problems with Zadar. Cibona came out victorious against Cedevita. Igokeja started well under new coach, and Budućnost never felt threatened by Široki. In the last game, MZT Skopje surprised Partizan. Crvena Zvezda remains on top, followed by Partizan and Cedevita. Cibona and Budućnost are in the mix for Final Four as well. Igokeja and Skopje conclude top half of the table. 4 teams have 7 wins. Široki, Solnok and Zadar are at the foot of the table. This week's MVP is Ivan Buva from Široki. His index 31. In 31 minutes on court, he scored 19 points, was great at free throws line, scoring 11 from 12 and had 11 rebounds. Cibona's Dario Šarić remains league's MVP. And here are top 5 actions of the week. At number 5 from Budućnost, Jalil Akindele. Number 4, Cedevita's Goran Sutton. At number 3 this week, Olimpija's Alex Stivison. Second place for Solnok's Akos Keller. And the best action of the week from Crvena Zvezda, DeMarcus Nilsson. Round 19 will tip off in Skopje. 3 games will start at 1900 CET in Kragujevac, Široki and Zadar. On Sunday, Olimpija will host Igokeja and Crvena Zvezda will entertain Budućnost. Round will be concluded on Tuesday with rivals Cibona and Partizan playing in Zagreb. That's it for this week. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye bye.